Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, and thank you for the opportunity of inviting us to join you this morning. Allow me at the onset to congratulate the partners to this agreement, KapdiTwala and SNR Denton, on this milestone. It is our fervent hope that this would be the commencement of a long and lasting relationship that would be mutually beneficial and contribute to the broader transformation trajectory of our country. I have to say, Mr. Kapdi, it's a very intimidating audience because I was looking around. I normally address very mixed audiences. This time it's leaning towards the other side. I'm just happy that there's a sprinkle of some pretty faces around here. It's just becoming too masculine. I'm hoping that going forward as a woman coming from a department that is led by a female minister, a female deputy minister, a female director general, a female CFO, and of course the female COO. I'd like to see more women. So I'm hoping that going forward, you'll have more women. Next time we meet, at least we'll have a couple of more women. Is that a promise? Thank you. No, they are there. I must also share our expectations that this would be the first of many other partnerships and arrangements that must seek to contribute to the development and expansion of a professional services sector that is transformed and geared towards contributing to the broader development objectives of our country and the related development needs of our people. Many of us in this room would agree with me that the global energy sector is still facing significant uncertainties, which are being fostered by the challenges experienced by some countries within the Eurozone, as well as the tense geopolitical environment, especially in the Middle East and the Gulf region. At the same time, we have seen massive advances with regard to development of the renewable energy sector, with many of these on the continent of Africa and, of course, South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, South Africa is making a myriad of advances in the energy space. Allow me at this point to briefly take you through some of these advances. Firstly, we have initiated the procurement process of power from renewable energy independent power producers, which is the recent buzzword around South Africa now. You talk energy, everybody says IPP. In accordance with the competitive and renewable energy IPP procurement program. Government's commitment to renewable energy is tactically demonstrated through this program. We are confident that we will not only improve the energy security situation in South Africa, but will also create green jobs, mitigate greenhouse gas emissions related to fossil fuel power generation, and put South Africa in its rightful position in the new renewable energy technology stakes. You would also be aware that the independent system and market operator known as ISMO bill is currently before Parliament. We have concluded the integrated resource plan, and it was promulgated a year or so ago, and we are now at a point where the IRP, which is the integrated resource plan, guides the work we do with regard to electricity generation and planning for the country. The IRP emphasizes the need for South Africa to work together in a social partnership with government, business, labor, and civil society to save energy. Energy efficiency remains the cheapest option available to us, and our first line of defense in our resolve to improve the electricity supply-demand situation. The IRP also emphasizes the need for our sub-region to collaborate in improving access to energy through interconnection of our electricity networks. Our objective of providing a better life for all can be achieved through exploiting the potential for hydro projects in the region and to fast-track the interconnection of South Africa, Botswana, Namibia, Angola, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. In the nuclear space, some of you might be aware that this year we embarked on a further engagement on the nuclear power generation. Government has come out of the IRP itself, and also the announcement made by the President and our Minister that South Africa is going full force towards nuclear energy. This year we embarked on this engagement on nuclear power generation under the auspice of the NNEECC. I like that one, and I always struggle with NNEECC, but it's a national nuclear committee that has been formed and led by our Deputy President. This is the stage where we are saying that at the government level, that we have actually elevated the leadership of this committee to a deputy president level to show the seriousness and the commitment of South Africa to nuclear energy. This will, of course, include our minister as the leader of the cabinet, a representative to that one, and our DG is the leader of the bureaucrats like myself who are involved within that environment. You will also be aware that as part of government's efforts to outline the future trajectory of the energy sector, a 20-year liquid fuels infrastructure roadmap is being developed. This, among others, will enable government to make announcements on the timing of particular investments in the sector of liquid fuels. Government remains steadfast in its effort to develop the biofuels industry to, amongst other things, improve security of liquid fuel supply, support economic growth, create jobs, enhance skills development, promote land reform, reduce poverty, reduce harmful emissions, support the development of small, medium, and micro enterprises, and act as a bridge between the first and the second economies. The biofuels regulatory framework is being finalized to accelerate the development of the biofuels industry in line with the biofuels industry strategy within the context of the Industrial Policy Action Plan, favorably known as the IPEP2. I love government because when I first joined government, I could never understand why everything was abbreviated, because you end up being the COO of an SOE, and you're thinking, trying to make sense of what that is, but it's just simply the COO of a state-owned entity. But we love these abbreviations in government. The envisaged regulatory framework will primarily deal with pricing matters as well as fuel quality specifications to enable mandatory blending to biofuels into conventional mineral liquid fuels. I am raising these few examples of activity in the energy space to further demonstrate why we regard developments such as these partnerships are very important. In order to meet our stated development objectives, and specifically to fundamentally transform the energy sector to the advantage of the poor and the vulnerable, we need to engage on the critical task of ensuring that we harness the potential and abilities of the sector. This includes the entire value chain, and in this case, the area of professional services to the industry. We are encouraged that a leading 100% Black-owned firm, KapdiTwala, is positioning itself to play a leading role in the sector with the support and backing of such a notable international firm such as the SNR Denton. SNR Denton will, with its presence from New York to London to Istanbul to Windhoek to Rwanda, now Uganda, and he mentioned quite a number of other countries that I didn't know about before, amongst others, is very strategically placed to ensure that indeed they contribute meaningfully to this arrangement. A few weeks ago, the minister released the outcome of the department's led audit into the progress made with regard to the Liquid Fuels Charter. The Liquid Fuels Charter, just briefly on that one, ladies and gentlemen, was the first charter that was introduced within the government environment. It was more than 10 years ago. It was an agreement, it was more often of a gentleman's agreement between government and the liquid fuels industry in terms of compliance, in terms of your BEE environment, in terms of your partnerships that they create as the industry. And we just celebrated 10 years, as I said, a year ago. So the minister had actually asked for us to go back to the industry and see if there's been any progress made, because as you are aware, the liquid fuels industry is a white industry, to be honest with you. It's dominated by foreign companies into our country, which is nothing wrong with that, but we needed to know how they bring into the picture local suppliers, BEE suppliers, those kinds of basic things that we need to have within such environments. And our analysis of the meager progress that has been recorded with regard to the implementation is on record, and I will not rehash them here today. Safe to say that the need for transformation in this sector is immense, and it is urgent, especially facing the recent challenges that we have within the liquid fuels environment. It is very urgent that, ladies and gentlemen, we, together with yourselves, attend to this critical issue. We believe that this type of partnerships you seek to support our endeavors to ensure that we reach the common objectives that we have set for ourselves. We also believe that the sector must respond accordingly and must contribute to the establishment of a more Black-owned and managed professional services firm, and may I add, with a heavier sprinkle of women, please, and create an enabling and the necessary conditions for these organizations to grow and develop. I wish to congratulate you again on this significant milestone and also express the hope that this marriage will last to the benefit of not only the two partners, but the energy sector and South Africa's society as a whole. Thank you again for inviting us to be part of this momentous occasion, and we wish you pleasant communication. Thank you.